Hey, what's up everybody? This is Matt with Rocky's War Room. Tonight I have a unbox and build of the C3M4 Combat drone for either Concord or Freeborn. And everybody knows I have a Freeborn force, so that's actually what I bought this for, is the Freeborn. It's a what they call a mod 2, which means it gets multiple order dice. It gets 2 order dice to activate. So it can essentially fire, then fire, which is pretty awesome. It comes with weapon options, and in this box, if we turn it over, what's cool about this is it has 3 different kinds of weapons that you can choose from. You can choose from the plasma cannon, the fractal cannon, or the compression cannon. And the cool thing about this is, it says it is supplied with all 3 weapon options available to it in the Concord or Freeborn of the Beyond the Gates of Antares rulebook army list. These are all designed so you can easily switch weapons to the weapon to fit your choice, as well as the option to elevate during their games. So that means that I'll be able to either pull this turret off, put this gun in, or this gun in, and have those options. This is the first vehicle I've ever bought that actually, out of any game, that actually has the option of using either one. I guess you can magnetize both of them, but it doesn't actually say it on the box, on how you can switch out the weapon on a vehicle. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There might have been another one out there that has it like that, but this is my first one that has that option. So tonight we're gonna do a unboxing and build. So I'm calling it unbox and build of the C3M4 Combat drone for Beyond the Gates of Antares. So we're gonna crack open the box in a second. But first, the supplies you need. You need a good pair of clippers. I've had these forever. They're still good. They're still sharp. You need a hobby knife in case there's mold lines or something along those lines. And you need some sort of plastic glue, super glue, anything will work. I have chosen the Citadel plastic glue because it works great for plastic. It's probably the only GW product besides the paints that I purchased in a long time. So it's quite interesting. It's a little expensive for what you get. I've tried plastic weld. And plastic weld takes forever to dry. It welds it on there, but it takes forever to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and use this stuff for my combat drone. So we're going to open up the box, take out the contents. You got a neat little flight stand, which you can switch between heights. So if you want them sitting up high, use this one. If you want them sitting up lower, you can use this one, and it's completely interchangeable, and you just set it on there. The one I have built already, I actually just glued it in and glued it to the model itself. It's a transport drone, the T7 that I have for the Freeborn already, and I just went ahead and glued it on its tall flight stand because it didn't matter to me. I'd rather just have it on its stand and stay on its stand, and nobody knocks it over, and it falls off its stand or something along those lines. So we have that. This is actually not belongs in the box there. So we have a flight stand there for you. Let me go ahead and move the camera up. Maybe you can see a little bit better. There we go. So we have a flight stand. And we have a couple pegs and a couple stands or bases for the batter drone and the spotter drone that comes with it. Now, a batter drone adds a big force field 5 inches away from anywhere from where the batter drone is. And that force field will block or add to the resistance value of whatever's behind it being shot into. Whatever's behind it will get a +2 to the resistance. So if you want to look at it here, this is the spotter drone, just a normal drone, and this is what the batter drone looks like. It's a little bit different. I'd say kind of got little wings on it. Kind of looks like a little bug. That's how you can tell the difference. Also, we have here a C3M4 Combat drone instruction manual on how to build each one. And I'm assuming they have on here, yes, not to glue. You look at that, you do not glue the turret, and you do not glue any of the guns in here. They just kind of go in there. Now, obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to magnetize this, and I'm going to magnetize each one of these. The plasma cannon, the fractional cannon, the compression cannon. And you obviously glue them together, but you definitely don't glue them into the turret. I think that's neat. The turret will be able to move even with a magnet, so I think that's pretty cool. It says here, leave the base unplugged to allow for combat drone to be tilted dramatically. Okay, tilted dramatically. Well, I guess we can do that. Now this list here, it gives you a list of numbers of everything on the sprue. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll put that number on the sprue itself, and they don't do it on there, so that's obviously why they do it. So if we need to know, this is number 1. This is the main hull here. Now this is a little bit different than the transport drone, because I think I had to put this. Oh no, this was one whole piece. This is the same sprue for the transport drone here. This is the sprue for the combat drone. So that's what's different here. Interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. So that's how they swap them out. Because this doesn't have an underhull with a transport capacity. So with a door and all that. So here's what we'll do. Step 1. And I won't put you through all the gruel steps. But A here, let's look at it first. So A, right here, you have the parts for the wings they tell you to do first. And then obviously they make these engines for the suspension system. You make those, and then we put it all together on this one base here with a few other bits and bobs there to finish it out. So I will put all this together, and I'll come back and show you what I have put together. So it gives you instructions like glue part 2 before part 1, attaching the engines. So glue this part here before you attach the engines. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and do these 3 steps. I'll come back and show you what I got so far. Okay, got all the pieces together. Sorry about that. Got all the pieces together right here to make the first 3 steps of the C3 Combat drone. We're going to put together the thrusters, or the what they call these? The engine nacelles, something like that, nacelles. Probably butchered that, but sorry, I apologize. We got the wings assemblies for both sides. We got the front of the ship, the 2 sides, the 2 parts where the engines go, and the under hole of the front, and the top part of this right here. So it looks like we got a little cleaning up to do with some flash from cutting it. If you can see that, yep, right there at the cut points. So we'll clean those up right quick and get those taken care of. And I'll be right back after I got all this assembled so you guys can see it. Okay, there you go. You got the finished hull for the most part. I let it sit here for a couple minutes just to let the glue kind of dry a little bit. And we're going to set that to the side for just a minute. We're going to bring the next pieces out. This here is the turret that goes right on top here. On top. And a couple pieces. You don't glue this turret here, and you don't glue this big turret to here. That way you can, it fits tight enough. I've kind of test fitted it. It fits tight enough to where you will be able to turn it. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to glue it yet or not, but I'll figure it out once I get started. Then you have the underhull. These little pieces here are going to fit right there. This will go right on top of it, and you'll be able to turn these little guys, which is really neat. Then you have all the weapons. So we have this weapon here. I think that's the compression cannon. And this one here. This looks like the regular plasma cannon. This one here, which is the fractal cannon. All these options, you see there's a little slot right here, right there. All these weapons options will just sit in a slot right there, kind of tight fitting, and you can swap them out with each other. So as far as painting goes, I'm going to have to glue a toothpick or something to this part right here. Something I can get off pretty easy just to paint it. But that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's finish this C3M4 Combat drone. Back in a sec. there you have it. There it is. One combat drone. And the cool thing about these Antares models, especially this one here, which I wasn't expecting when I got it, the turret moves. The guns are interchangeable, so you can switch out loadouts right there. So you can switch to what you need points-wise. 3 different weapons. This turret moves. These side turrets move. Goes on and off the base, pretty sturdy. Doesn't move, which is always good. You know, flipping it, that sort of thing. But all in all, pretty sweet looking model. I really like it. Of course, I put together both the drones that go with it. This one here is the spotter drone. This one's the batter drone. Obviously, you have to pay for those as far as points cost go. But anyway, there it is, folks. That is pretty awesome looking. I do have another one of these. I've got one here for the Freeborn, and I got another one of these to build for the Concorde. So why not? But I'll have 2. They have interchangeable weapons. Obviously, one's better at popping heavy vehicles and big beasts, and the other is better at killing infantry. One does massive damage, which massive damage is the double roll on the damage die. But all in all, they move around and they're pretty nasty. I think it's a great looking model. And there's the finished product. Thank you for joining me for this unbox and build of a C3M4 Combat drone for Beyond the Gates of Antares. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Tell a friend. Like this video and leave me some comments and tell me what you thought of me building it. And your thoughts of maybe how it looks. And I'm curious to see how cool people think this is, or how much they don't like it. But anyway, that's it for this video. Last but not least, thank you for joining me. Ta-ta!